So far, we have discussed about the various decision-making statements, conditional execution using if structure, and we also had examples on looping statements, so while, for, conditional loops, logic, and bit operations. With the continuation, we'll be discussing again revisiting the concept of list. Okay, with the concepts, examples, a few case studies, and applications, advanced applications of a list. So that is our agenda. In the next few sessions, we'll be discussing the list in detail. Okay, so although we had a brief deliberations on a list in the previous sessions, okay, so now this is the time to discuss the detailed concept of list, right? We all know that a list is described as a collection of data. Okay. Now, why do we need a list? What is the reason for that? So, all our exercises, the discussions and deliberations were till the previous session was about conditional executions and looping structures. It may happen that we have to read. Please note, it may happen that we need to read. We have to read, store, process, and finally print dozens, maybe hundreds, perhaps even thousands of numbers. Okay. So what then? Do we need to create a separate variable for each value? And will we have to spend long hours writing statements like for loop and n1, n2, n3, n4? Okay, so I have taken precisely these two examples to understand why do we need a list? What is the necessity? So what is the requirement for list? For example, take the first case. For I in range 4, print I, which will display 0 to n minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Right? 0, 1, 2, and 3, 4 numbers. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3 are all integer type. If you want to create a variable, if you want to create a process, store, print dozens, hundreds, and perhaps even thousands of numbers, values, then we have to define the variable n1, n2, n3 up to n 100, 1000, and tens and thousand. Then this means it will be a thousands of lines and it will become a complicated task. Right? We should find that we don't even enough paper or space to complete the task. Moreover, we don't have enough time to do it. Because it's a tedious job. Right? So hence we need the list. Okay, so the list not only supports, combines, integrates the processing of several hundreds, dozens, thousands of data, but also support different types of values. Whereas the for loop will have the same homogeneous type of input, integer, string, or float. In fact, to support different types of values, then we need to have several dozens, hundreds, and tens and thousands of input statements, which will be a tedious job, time consuming, and more the statements will take a lot of execution time, run time. So we may not expect the result immediately, effectively, and efficiently. So what should be the solution? So we want to have a combination of different types of data at the same time. That should be done immediately in short span of time, to support not only homogeneous type, different integer, float, negative values, strings. So the result is list. So all the programming logics, what we have discussed, if structures, conditional executions, loops, and other will support only either homogeneous type, and it doesn't have, those statements don't have the scope of supporting different values, different data. Even if they support, we need to have a multiple, as I said, dozens, hundreds and tens and thousands of input statements, which is a time consuming. So we need a different, better or an alternative logic which could solve all these problems. Different types of data with a compact or a simple functions to support the collection of data. And the solution is list. So list contain items of different data types. What is a list? So list is a function, user defined function, a programming logic which defines, which stores different types of data. And the values stored in the list are separated by commas and enclosed within a pair of square brackets. A pair of square brackets. Is it clear? And the various operations can be applied in the list are slicing, concatenation, repetition, append, length, insert, update, copy, delete, and many more. So we have handpicked very few which are frequently used and widely popular used by the programming community. In fact, the list manipulations include a huge list of operations, functions. Here, the most important, the frequently used, handpicked or highlighted: slicing, concatenation, repetition, append, length, insert, update, copy, and delete. We are familiar already with a few manipulations. Hope you remember. Try to recall the string operations, string manipulation commands. So all these operations are same, but it is applied in the list. Fine. So the values stored in the list can be retrieved by using the slicing operator. Slicing operator is used to pick a part, a portion. Okay, selectively few members. And we know arithmetic plus is a concatenation operator which is used to combine, integrate two or more lists. The same string manipulation functions is also used in the list. And list concatenated by plus. Asterisk is a repetition operator which supports the commutative property. A into B is equal to B into A, whereas A plus B is not equal to B plus A. So the arithmetic plus will not support the commutative property, whereas asterisk, multiplication operator, arithmetic multiplication, supports commutative, which is also called as a repetition operator. So a part of the list, a portion of the list, sub-lists are created by using the slicing operator. And two or more lists are added, integrated with the help of plus sign. And repetition, duplication, multiplication is done with the help of asterisk. Append is used to add elements into the list using append method. Append, a method used to add a list at the end. Length, as the name indicates, it returns the count, the integer value, the size of the list. So check the size, count the number of elements, and results the value length. We have insert, add an element at any prescribed location, either at the front, in between, middle, or at the end, front or rear at any positions. If we like to add a new element at our desired location, we use insert operation, whereas append will add elements at the end, only at the end of the list. This insert function method will add a new element at given any location. As I said, either front or second or third or in the middle or at the end. Update, to change the value, to replace a value, a new value, then we can use the update method. copy, make a duplication. A string or a list can be duplicated with the help of the copy function. Delete, which is used to remove permanently from the list. Okay, del method is used to remove the elements from a list. Okay, so don't get confused. In the string manipulation, we applied all these operations with respect to string. Add elements to a string, current length of the string, add element to any location into a string, update the value in the string. Okay, so the same operations are also applicable in the list. Fine. And the last property, which is a special, negative indices are also equal. Usually the traverse, the memory is accessed from the initial position 0 up to 1, 2 up to n minus 1. Okay, in the left to right side. So negative indices, the reverse process, the reverse traversal is also legal, permitted, starting from -1, the rightmost element, and it will decreases gradually, -1, -2, the second last, the second right, -3, -4, -5, and so on. So the first location will have the least value. Negative indices in the list are also permitted. Fine. Now let us switch to PyCharm and check all these operations. Okay. So we start with the slicing operator. As I said, it's just used to pick a selective, a part, a portion, okay, of the list. Right. Let us define a list. 1 is equal to, as I said, list is a collection of different data type elements enclosed in between a pair of square brackets and separated by commas. Okay, let us take Sachin, the string. Okay, next 678, a integer value. Okay, average, let us 50 point, and another. Okay, and let us take another string, Saurav. So list 1 is defined. Let us have a list 2, another list. It is 436, a random number, Rahul. Okay, so start with the simple function, print a list 1, print a list 2. Right, just run the program and check whether the list concept, okay. So the list has been displayed. Now we start with the first operations, methods applied with the slicing operation. Right, so print list 1. So slicing is used to retrieve some part, some portion. Okay, starting from 1 colon, make 0 1 2, right, 3. So the slicing will have two values, one at the left and another at the right. The one at the left we have will represents the initial value, and the right hand side represents n minus 1. Please note, I hope you recollect the slicing operation which we had discussed in the string manipulation. So the left hand side should be either equal or less than, should be the expected to be equal, less than or equal to the right hand side. At no time the right side value should be less than the left hand value. So it has two sides, and left by default represents the initial value, and the right hand side will have the highest upper limit. Okay, so what will be the output? What we can expect? List 1 of 1 up to n minus 1. So which will display list 1 of 1 and list 1 of 2. List 1 of 1 is nothing but 678, comma 50.5. Run the program and check 678, comma 50.5. So list 1 of 1, list 1 of 0 is Sachin, list 1 of 0, list 1 of 1 is 678, list 1 of 2 is 50.5. So slicing picks a part, selectively have a sub list, create a sub list, right? And next we have concatenation operator, right? So print concatenate is used to add, integrate two or more lists. So list 1 plus list 2. So the members of list 1 and list 2 are added into a single list, right? Let us run the program. So Sachin 678, 50.5, Saurav 436 and Rahul. Okay. So the plus, arithmetic plus, concatenates a two list, merges the two lists into a single one. Right. Next we have the repetition operator. List. Let us take list 2 into twice, which means the list 2 is printed twice, 2 times. Repetition operator. Fine. Run the program. So 436 Rahul, 436 Rahul. So 2 times the members of the list are printed. Okay. Similarly, as said, it supports commutative property, so which means A into B is equal to B into A. So 2 into list 2, list 2. So we should get the same output. Okay, so the repetition operator asterisk supports the commutative property. Okay, whereas list 1 plus 1 and 1 plus list is not equal. So the arithmetic plus concatenate will not support the commutative property. Fine. So we had slicing, concatenate, and repetition is done. So what is next? Using append operation, right? So append operation is used to append, add elements at the end. Okay, so let us check, apply append operation. List 1 dot append. Okay, so when you type dot APPE, we get a help from the list. So this PyCharm editor supports the user with the helpline. So APPEND. Okay, so we should not make any mistakes in the syntax. So append. Okay, so list 1 dot append some value. Let us say 1000. Right. Fine. So it will be added. How to check? How to check whether we had? How to confirm the 1000 is added into the list 1 at the end? How can we confirm this operation? Can you please respond in the chat window? So list 1 dot append the value. This value will be added at the end of the list 1. Now we need to confirm it. How to confirm? Yes, print list 1. Okay, so this will have the latest updated list, modified list, where we have appended 1000 into the list 1. Run the program. Okay, so Sachin 678, 50.5, Saurav 1000. So the append operation, append method will add a new data element value into the existing list at the end. Now we would like to add a different value at our desired position. Why should we add at the end? I would like to add at the first position, second position, third position, middle one, last one. So we have the insert method to add elements from the list at any location, we use the list. So this could be done with the help of list. List2 dot insert. Insert. So which will have two parameters. The first parameter represents the location and the second parameter will add the value XMAN, Laxman. So we add the value data in the location. Please note, append will have only one data. Whatever be the data, either it is an integer or float or character or string, will be added at the end. Insert to add at the desired, at the selective location. So hence it need the value. It takes two parameters. The first parameter represents the location and the second parameter represents the data. So what we need to have to do, we want to add the string at the first location. So list2 dot insert the value. Now print list2. Okay, list2. Let us check. Yes. So list2, earlier it was 436, Rahul. After inserting the string Lakshman at the 0 is nothing but the first location front. We have Lakshman 436 and Rahul. Fine. Any doubts? Okay. Similarly, we can insert at any other locations different. I would like 0, 1, 2. Like to add 3. Okay, let us make 2. Okay. So list2 dot insert to the second location Kapil. Print list2. So 0, 1, 2 in the second location, a new string, a data is added. Right. So to add elements into a list at the desired location, selective location, we can have the insert operation. Okay, so insert and done. Okay, so what we have discussed, we have started with slicing, used to pick a group, a selective group, subgroup, or a sublist, concatenate to add to list, repetitive with the help of asterisk, append to add a data at the end, insert at the desired location. So what is the next operation? Is to update. Update, as I said, update is used to change, replace the existing value. Okay, so I would like to replace the existing value. Let us take the list. Print list2. We have Lakshman, 436, Kapil, and Rahul. Okay, so I would like to replace with the help of the update statement, which is nothing but list2 of 2 is equal to okay. I would like to replace Kapil with Sunil Gavaskar. So list2 of 2 is equal to Sunil Gavaskar. So this update can be done with the help of assignment operator. So a data is assigned at the given list at desired location. Let us check a print list2. Okay, so the data should have replaced the location list2 of 2 with the value. Okay, so Lakshman 436, so the couple is updated with Sunil Gavaskar. and the other values are continued. Right? So the update method is used to replace the existing value with a new value. To change the existing value, then we can use the help of the assignment operator. Okay. And the last method is copy. Copy is used to have a duplication, one element to another element. One element with another element. For example, list 2 of 0. What is list 2 of 0? What is list 2 of 0? Okay, list 2 of 0 is equal to list 2 of 3. Right? Print list 2. Okay. So list 2 of 3 is replaced with the list 2 of 0. Right? So list 2 of 0, what was earlier? It is Lakshman. List 2 of 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 is Rahul. So this data is replaced with the list in the list 2 of 0 location. So we can copy and replace one element to another element with the help of again the assignment operator. Okay, so not only we selectively pick, not only we do the selectively, okay, but also we can have it. Let us check. The complete list can be also copied. The complete list. So we have Rahul 436, Sunil Gavaskar and Rahul. There's a list 2. Fine. And list 1, what is list 1? Print list 1. Print list 1. List 1 is Sachin 678, 50.5, Saurav and 1000. A complete list can be copied, modified, replaced with another list. Okay, so we have the list 1 is Sachin 678, 50, Saurav 1000. Right? Now, list 1 is equal to list 2. Print list 1. What will be the output? Any guess? Please note. List 1 is Sachin 678, 50.5, Saurav 1000. And list 2 is Rahul 436, Sunil and Rahul. What we have done? List 2 is equal to list 1. List 2 is equal to list 1. Okay. So what will be the output now? So the list 1, which was earlier Sachin 678, 50, Saurav, has been replaced with the updated value. So copying not only the selected values, but we can also copy the entire list. Did you get the point? Okay, so we can copy or replace not only the selective data, one or two data, but it can be also done with the complete list. Entire list can be replaced. Replacement could be done with either selective data members, also with the complete list. Fine. So a list is a collection of different data items, elements or information. So all those operations which are applicable to string can also be done in the help of list. So instead of writing a number of dozens, hundreds, and thousands of statements to access, to receive, to input values, one statement with the combination of all value can be accommodated. That concept is called list. So list is described with the collection of different type of elements enclosed in between a pair of square brackets, and each member are differentiated, separated by comma. Okay, so integer and float will have no value, will be as usual defined. Strings and characters are represented by enclosing a pair of single quotes or double quotes. Fine. So this is a simple operations using print. Okay. So we can also use a list can be is a static list because we are defining the list with already prefixed values. With the prefixed values. So the list can be generated, created in static way or in the dynamic way also. Is it clear? A list can be generated statically. We can predefine, determine, prefix the list in the static form, or we can create the list in the dynamic way at the time of execution. How we can do it? For example, list is equal to a blank list. Okay, a blank list is defined. So I'm trying to explain how to create a list in a dynamic way at the time of execution by using for loop. For I in range function, we should have a integer value, the for loop n with a colon and followed by the indented block. So list dot append. Append means add the elements one after the other. So for I in range 5, which means 0 to n minus 1, 0 to 4, 5 elements are added. 5 elements are added one after other, one after the other. The next successive location. So list dot append I plus 1 in the next successive location. That is done with the help of I plus 1 method. Okay, so it is added. Now we have to type this, know the list, display the list in the window. So print I. Got it? So this program will create a list dynamically. Right? Now let us run the program. Okay. A list is created and which we have I plus 1, that is 4. Oh, okay. Yes. For I in range of 5, I plus 1, I. So 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have not defined the list. The list was initially empty. We supplied values, the range 5. So 0 to n minus 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are displayed. So a list can be generated at the time of execution also. Okay. Any doubts? Okay. As said, deletion is also permitted. Fine. We can also delete the list. For example, let us go back to the previous program. The list 1 and list 2. In fact, both lists are same. It is a list 1, right? Delete. Delete is used with the help of deletion operation. Del list 1 of 1. list 1. So since it is a list, that has to be done with the help of square brackets, right? So list is defined, right? Del list 1 of len. Now print list 1. List 1 of 1 is nothing but the second element. Second element here is 436. It is supposed to be removed from the list. Run the program. Okay. So have you noticed, Rahul, the 436 have been, this value has been removed. So after it is removal, the following data are presented. And the last one was the negative indices. Negative indices are also permitted, which means print list 1 of -1. So from the list 1 of 1, what will be the -1? What is the index value? Yes, the rightmost. Okay, rightmost location is indexed with the value -1, and from the right it will grow in the decrement way. Okay, so the rightmost value will be the -1, and slowly it is decremented by 1. -1 will be the Rahul. -2 will be the Sunil Gavaskar. -3 will be again Rahul. What will be then? -4. Print list 1 of -4. Now tell me what will be the output. Will you get 0 or error or any other value or Rahul? List 1 of -4. Guess the output. Okay. So -1, -2, -3, there is no value indexed with -4. Okay. Since there are no errors in this statement and the indexing value does not hold any value of the -4. So it will return a blank output. A blank space is returned as an output because the storage location will have -1 to infinitive, the maximum. Okay, as the indexed value -4 does not have any associated data in the list, as a result, it displays a blank, empty. So the location, the index value of -4 is empty in the memory. It will not show error because there is no error mistakes in the statement. A print function, list 1, indexing, the index value is -4. Now in the indexed location -4, there are no data, which means it's empty. So hence a blank space, an empty line returns as an output. All right, fine. Any doubts? Okay, so in this session, we have discussed the list. A list is a collection of different data items enclosed within a pair of square brackets and separated by comma. And all these methods can be applied for the list manipulations. Fine. So let us stop here and we'll continue in the next session. Any doubts?